I just want to make a public service announcement here. I've got two screenshots that are going to follow me here in just a moment. And I was notified by a viewer in the UK that he was encouraged to make a donation in order to subscribe to my channel. And he got the following screenshot. Now, I don't know if there's something different in the UK than here in the States, but in the States, you don't have to support the channel and with money in order to subscribe. So if you're being forced to pay money in order to subscribe, I would assume it's fraudulent. So anyway, here's the screenshot he got asking for money. It looks to me to be fraudulent. Maybe somebody out there will know one way or the other. And then it's followed by the screenshot that you can get here in the States if you click on my About page. That's the only way I know you can get it. And if you look on the second screenshot, if you look down in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see a little support button. And if you click on that, then you can donate to the channel. To date, no one's ever done that, but then again, I don't ask people to do it. So, you know, whatever. If you would like to support it, I'm not going to turn it down. But I just want you to know that there could be something fraudulent going on out there. And especially my friends in the UK, I don't want anybody to be taken. So take a look at these two screenshots and at least beware. Thank you. Hello friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa String Works workshop. We've got another mandolin in the shop. This mandolin came in a couple of days ago. It came in from Knoxville, Tennessee, I believe it is. I've had quite a few instruments in from Knoxville this year. For whatever it's worth, the two little E strings were broken when I received it. I don't know if they were broken before it was shipped or what, but anyway, they came broken. The instrument looks fine, the box looked fine, I didn't see anything wrong. The strings are all loose, so my guess is that they were either broken ahead of time or they maybe have broke when he loosened them up, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. The note in here, this came in a couple days ago and I just get into it. The note in here says he'd like for me to pretty much just do anything it needs. He liked the my number 80 video, which was setting up the lure, and he kind of pretty much wanted me to just do whatever I did to that one, and I might have to go back and look at the video to see what I did. But I pretty much do the same thing on all of them. I just go through and do whatever I think they need to make them sound the best and make them play easy. I can tell the action on this one, maybe not so high down here, but it seems pretty high up at the nut. I don't know if you can see how you can press that down quite a ways. It goes down quite a ways. So anyway, I can tell it's pretty high. We can fix that for sure. I'm just looking at it overall, and don't see anything, you know, structurally wrong or anything like that. Looking down the neck, fretboard looks pretty flat. It looks like it's okay. If anything, it actually does look like it's slightly overbowed. Overbow would indicate that the truss rod might be too tight. So I will check that just to make sure. But it does look like it's overbowed, especially since there's no tension on the string, so it would go to its natural shape. It's almost perfectly flat, but if anything, like I said, it's slightly overbowed. So we'll check that out. The tailpiece looks good and solid. It's a what I would call a distressed mandolin. It's got, you know, little dents in it and things that were there intentionally. You can tell when they made it, and the finish shows that. So it looks like it's, you know, an old mandolin that's kind of beat up a little bit, but yet it's fairly new, I can tell. The model number in it, again, I told you it was a Washburn, or I think I did. It's a Washburn, and it's a model number M118SWK, and it does say made in China in there. Just looking at it though, the top Well, they've got the edges disguised pretty good. I can't tell without maybe some close-up specs to really tell for sure whether we're talking solid wood or plywood. I'm pretty sure it's solid wood on the top. It's really hard to tell on this one because they've distressed the edges almost with some dark and light dye both, but based on what I can see, it looks like there are grain lines going down through it. So yeah, so it's a solid wood top, and I'm assuming the back and sides are solid also. I can see the grain inside, the grain pattern inside pretty clearly. Sure don't see it out here. It's sure a different pattern. I don't study these things in terms of which models are which, so I don't know it from memory, but just looking at it, I'm slightly suspicious of the back being solid wood. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm also not seeing the same exact grain pattern in the back that I see on the inside. So because of that, I'm suspicious that the back and sides are laminated. I have to tell you though, it does look like the inside back was carved, or I should say sanded at least, with heavy sander. So that would kind of indicate that it's a carved back. But boy, I sure do not see the same grain on the outside as I see on the inside. There's a hint of it, but not the same. Makes me wonder. But regardless how it's made, we'll do our best to set it up and make it sound its best and make it play real easy. Run into an issue already on this Washburn. I took the truss rod cover off. The truss rod's way back in here. It literally is back about this far before you can even touch it. It's about in the middle of this first fret, or so it appears. I would say pretty close to the middle. The overlay comes down pretty far, and it's thick, and so when you try to get back to the truss rod, the overlay is actually lower here on the front than the truss rod is. So in other words, you'd have to go up at an angle like this to get to the truss rod. Well, I'm trying to get the one of these Allens back in there, and I can kind of touch the truss rod, but I feel like I'm hitting the bottom of the truss rod. This won't tilt any further because I'm hitting the top of it here and I'm hitting the bottom of it here, and I can't tilt this any further. So I'm going to have to get in there with a Dremel tool and cut some of the bottom out of this, and maybe cut a little bit of the top out of this in order to get the Dremel tool in there straight enough to touch the truss rod. Very unique way of putting a truss rod in. Don't believe I've run into that particular problem before. I've had plenty of them where they're hard to get to, but one that's back this far in there is kind of unusual, and to have to get up to an angle to get to it. So we'll see what we can do. Well, that did the trick. I was able to cut enough from underneath here to raise the Allen up enough to get in there, and oddly enough, the truss rod was not over tight. As a matter of fact, it was incredibly loose. I had to turn it almost a full turn before it actually engaged. So I have it engaged now, but just barely engaged. I just didn't want it to be loose enough in there to rattle, which it could do. Okay, being we're doing the full meal deal on this mandolin, I'm going to pull out these decoration frets and we're going to scallop this down.
It's 5 o'clock and one more working day is finally at an end. I hurry from my job and start the car and fight the traffic once again. Heading down the interstate, my tension eases as the traffic thins. I leave my worries far behind and wonder what the in crowd might be doing. Farther down the road, a pretty woman's waiting with a drink for me. There's a lot of women there, and pretty soon that's where I'm gonna be. I'm the only one that's missing, I'm the one the in crowd's waiting for. I drive around the back and park my car, then I open up the door. And
much got it ready to go. I was getting ready to put the new deer antler saddle on it, and we'll string it up for the first time. You know, got the bridge fitting to the top really well now. There's no daylight under it now, where I could see all kinds of daylight under it before. But the problem is that these posts are much bigger than the posts that I drill for, so I'm going to have to drill the holes out in this antler saddle. They look like they line up fine, they're just that these holes are much bigger. So we'll go to the next size drill bit and see if we can make that fit.
My kids and my wife cry. She hands me my coffee, and the kids gather round me. It makes me so proud to be in with the in crowd. I'm an old dirt farmer. I scrape a living from the soul. Like my father before me, I labor and toil. But my father said, son, you should move away. He said, farm life is dying. Son, please don't stay. I moved to the city and I tried to fit in. I thought of my father and how the crops would get in. I could hear him say, son, you should move away. He said, farm life is dying. Son, please don't stay.
I want to thank you for watching this video. Please take time to click the subscribe button if you've not already done that. And also be sure to click the like button and share these videos with your friends. Thank you very much.
I returned for a visit, but I was too late. My father lay dying. I knew it was fate. But he turned and said, son, you should move away. I just couldn't leave him, and he knew I would stay. Now I'm an old dirt farmer. I scrape a living from the soul. Like my father before me, I labor and toil.
This mandolin belongs to a customer who is currently touring with Bon Jovi. He is in the production crew, so I had to find out where he was going to be in order to ship this to him. I thought that was kind of interesting.
I believe we've got her just right. The action's very tight down here, and at the 7th fret, this 1.14 millimeter pick just barely is held in place. Just barely. I mean, like it just snugly fits, and so that's just about perfect. That's the way I like to see them. The intonation's good on it now. I think just about as good as you could hope for it to be. I don't think you could find one set up much better than this one. Well, let's see what this old Washburn sounds like. In the key of A, we're going to play one called Washington County. I haven't played this in a very long time. playing in. It's a little stiff. I think once it gets played in, it's going to sound pretty good. It might be set even a hair low for a real hard player like me, but you know, I think this fella's just learning, and this will help him really, you know, as low as I've got it, it'll make it real easy for him to learn on and play on. You can always, you know, turn these one full turn up to raise it up a little bit if you're having any problems or struggles with it. But I think I don't really hear any buzzing, and it's clear, easy to play. It plays just like butter. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.